Welcome back, everybody. Wilde Willy here. That always cracks me up. The rolling jump intro to our Convergence Mod Let's Play Spirit Orange Summoner series, combining the best attributes of the Stormcaller and the Necromancer. I believe this is episode 22. So anyway, we've been using the same spells for a while. We have been to the DLC. I've been able to get one of our weapons at least up to plus 12. The DLC can bring a weapon up to plus 15. And if you look over on the right hand side, by character status, I've gotten int and faith up to 31. I've gotten a little bit more mind, a little bit more vigor. Would like to get strength and dex both to 20, but that's secondary. Another point of mind. And then just really pumping int and faith. We've been doing with the, in terms of spells, so we have the shimmering and glowing. You start with the faint rune. So we're, like 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6, because there will eventually be new spells added to the DLC. I think some classes might have a couple, and other ones they're just kind of placeholders, or they're just not there at all. But anyway, our next rune available for the Stormcaller is in Sainted Hero's Grave, which is on the Altus Plateau. And for the next one, the Shining Room, for the Necromancer, would be found after defeating the Deathrite Bird in the mountaintops. So we can try and go and knock both of those things out. So let's head over here. The Deathrite Bird is going to be like over here on your way down to Castle Sol. You'll pass it. And then the Sainted Hero's Grave, I killed the Black Knife Assassin out in front in an earlier, just on my own between episodes. Again, not very compelling gameplay to watch me run around or run away from the Black Knife Assassin and my spirit summon to run after the Black Knife Assassin. Bottom line is, it still died pretty easily given all those limitations. So let's pull out our boy. We are using the Rotten Duelist Varus. Go ahead and buff him up. And I have no idea what we're going to find in here other than, like Stormcaller stuff. So we'll see. We're going to go with our Rancor Fist. That is our highest powered weapon at this point. What does this have to say? Shadow bathed in light and knows weakness. Okay, so this is one of those trick catacombs where I don't know what you are, but you're dead. Sacred Tear, we're already maxed out, but good to know that you can just run in here and grab that. So this is one of those trick catacombs where there were like imps in the base game, and you had to bring them into the light in order to be able to do damage to them. So let's go around this way. Not sure what those are, other than dead. They look like yeah, baby revenants. So you guys are dead. And I had to dodge that a little bit. What's back here? Oop, we got a big one. And it won't let me lock on. Alright, so I've been poisoned, so let's just go ahead and wipe that off. Or no, that's my heal. I need to do that. Interesting, I'm not healing through that. You leave me anything? Seedling, Grave Goblet, 2 of them. I don't remember what my boy needs, but There's a good chance he needed that. And where did you go, brother? There you are. Let's just be careful and proceed. Okay, so there's the light. We can see some imps down there. Kill this one. Wait for bro to get to the light, and then we can kill him. So he's dead. My health is just not budging. There we go. Now we're regenning. So let's go back. I feel like this is just going to bring us into a loop to where we started. We avoided, like, chose to go straight ahead, and it brought us around instead of going straight down into the light. This could be interesting later on. Hopefully he teleports along the way, but because there's like imps that need to be, not imps, there's a kind of a boss who's the key who needs to be killed. So I guess here we just kind of run for it. And we'll aggro these guys and bring them over to the light. And it staggers them for a second. Lets me take them out. That's another revenant. Yeah, you're smart to be hiding. Like expecting a big one to pop out. Don't remember if there are secret passages in here. Yeah, he had a pathing issue and died, so let's try and bring him back. Keep checking for hidden walls. I don't remember any, but honestly, it's been a minute since I've been in here, so just give me a little time to do that. All right, so we came from there, ran over here, brought them over into the light. Got a little goodie over here in the corner. And then we can proceed. His footsteps are just a little bit distracting. All right, this is the floor is gonna crumble. I'm just gonna run down and grab that. The Lindell soldier ashes. So let's trigger the floor. Go ahead and take these guys out. One more. All right, so they're all dead. And this is where we're gonna need to bring the guy back to. All right, so I'm healing up. Are you healing up? It's hard to tell because he has the rot. So let's get this out. Let's rally him so he's healing up. All right, so we have some other goodie back here. Sprouting. Brave Lord. I'm not familiar with the names. I feel like that's what I need. This dungeon should be high enough level that I would get what I need here. All right, these are just putrid corpses. Bro is gonna go mess people up. I can help. Oh, we got people dropping from the ceiling. Behind you, look behind. All right, so that's kind of a little reminder that there's an upper path. Alright, bro, you need to move. I need to go up there. Yep. Up, and I missed again. Drop kick that guy, run from that guy. Those things have like sneaky range on their grab attack for a shambling corpse. We got more of them, and we got a Revenant up top. Yeah, you rush him. I'm gonna go deal with these two clowns because there should be two of them. All right, so they're all down. And my boy is hurt. So let's get him rallied again. Don't worry, buddy, I got these. They're not even aggro, so he's not gonna react to them. All right, Rune Arc. Another Seedling Grave Club. We're not a ghost. Alright, that's usually a dead end. Alright, and then we can proceed this way. Oh, and this just takes us back to above the room that we were in. So we drop down, and we drop down again, and we're back in here. So now we need to proceed straight. That. I know there's some stuff around the corner, so we just want to be patient here. Gotta wait for these guys to stand up. Go for a different one. I got that one. Hopefully he'll aggro whatever it is that's around the corner. Or I'll aggro it and bring it on over. That guy. Took that guy out. Took that out. That guy's going for a ride. All right, so I believe we have to go up over there where that other shambling corpse is standing. So yeah, there's our ladder, there's our boss room. Let's head on up. Actually, let's rally him again. And it's not a huge deal if he dies. We're gonna have to desummon him anyway before we go into the boss arena because they get stuck outside the boss fog. If you want to have your summons help you, you gotta send them away, go through the fog gate, and then resummon. All right, why did it bring me back up here? Oh, different section. There's going to be a Revenant that spawns over here. And I'm about to get poisoned again. Okay, so I want to do that this time. Get rid of that heinous thing. Bone shard, seedling. Okay. Are you not buffed again? All right, well, let's do both of us. Okay, so what we need to do is we're gonna need to drop back down there when we lure this guy. So we gotta go get him. Look, it's another duelist. All right, so I'm just gonna run in and run over and hopefully grab this stuff. All right, now you gotta come with me. This is what we want. Might need to go a little quicker. Gotta watch out for these things. Make sure he's following. He is. All right, and then we get up into the light. Turn around. He's gonna hit the light and staggered, and then it's all over for him. All right, so that opened the door. All right, let's get rid of our boy. Let me get my health back. And then I'm going to want to resummon him when we get in there. All right, and I don't remember what the boss is. We'll find out there. Ooh, we'll find out together. Got a little lazy running around that corner. Would have been easy to get hit. All right, let's just make sure there are no skeletons. There are. Or imps. Great, thank you. All right, so Ash of War, not the best here. Anyone else? So I do have my one boiled prawn. We'll go ahead and use that. I need to go back and get boiled crab. I did send Blackguard Boggart to what should be his new location. Okay, so let's go through. Rally him. Lock on. Oh, and this is going to be a short fight. Yeah, that wasn't very nice. So I got Ancient Dragon Knight Kristoff, Shining Room of the Storm, and then Zamor Knight City. Okay. All done. Did I get any runes? 51,000. Okay. So let's take a look at this real quick. Shining Room of the Storm, Cyclone, Dematerialize, Suffocate, and Storm Shatter. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the actual spells. So Cyclone, call down a large funnel of wind centered around your body that moves with you. So it's kind of like a moving AoE. And we do have enough faith to cast it, an int. So we're good there. Same with this one. Alter the essence of your physical form into vapors. An enchantment employed by the elders of Stormvale Castle. Defensive enchantment. After the essence of your physical form into vapors, alter. Stamina cost of attacks decreased by 25%. FP cost of sorcery is decreased by 15%, and your physical absorption to be increased by 15%. Lasts for 2 minutes. A derivative of cloud form enchantment, this technique became invaluable in the great conflict against the force of the Erd Tree. Okay, so this is just like, you know, a body buff we can put on. Lowers stamina cost, lowers FP cost, and increases physical negation for 2 minutes. So always something nice to have on, given how hard things hit. Let's see, next up, a sorcery used by the Stormcallers of Ancient Stormvale. Suffocate. Launches a projectile of air at foes. Upon impact, the enemy will be affected by a curse. Deals continuous damage. Enemies deal less damage, lowers their ability to block, and lowers their posture. Lasts for 80 seconds. So this is just a debuff. It buff myself, toss out the debuff on enemies, and then let's see this one. All right, so we're good for all these next tier spells. Tier kind of 4 out of 5, I'll call it. Fire a projectile of air at foes that causes moderate damage but massive damage to their posture. And this one I don't have enough for? Oh, my buff wore off. Okay. So we're good there and good there. And then I need 33 and 34. So that's what we're going to be working towards next. So let's go over here and head back to the entrance. Let's see if I can catch a level real quick. Wait, what? I was like, there is no ground, but now there's ground. Okay, so status, I can catch a level. So I'm gonna head on over to the freezing lake. I'm gonna make it morning. We're gonna catch the level, and then we will fight the Mariner, and we'll fight the Deathbird, and that should finish off this episode. All right, so let's just get another point in mind. Get me to 20. All right, now I want to do this. And we're gonna go up and around. So I want to head over here for the Mariner, and then the Deathbird should be like right over there. So those are our 2 marks. I want to kill the Mariner because it's like he's close enough. He could potentially get involved in my Deathbird fight. I doubt it, but some of his summons might. So we will just prevent that by taking him out. And there is a grace right over here that I'm just gonna grab in case something goes wrong. Not gonna rest. It's just a shorter run back. All right, so there goes the Beast Eye. Drop down over here. There's my Mariner. Summon my boy. Rally my boy. Then I'm going to take out this snail. Because it's a death snail, and I don't want to deal with them in the middle of my fight. Wait for him to come down, and then we should be able to just... All right, so he's done. Up and Stepple and Deathroot. So you're good. Go ahead and rally you again. You took some chip damage. All right, now we're gonna go right over here. I'm gonna drink my flask for this part. Should be like a pretty clear run. Just drop down over here. All right, so here comes the death bird. And I lost my summon. So let's get him back. Oof. He's doing ghost flame stuff. All right, let's wait for our boy to get in on him and draw aggro for a second. And then, once again, I'm gonna... And this is why I love this weapon. So let's not get knocked off the cliff. Or frostbitten. Jesus, I need to unlock. And you're dead. Alright, so Deathbird down. And what do we get for our trouble? Nice sleep. Okay, so we got the Death Ritual Spear and the Shining Rune of Necromancy. So let's check that bad boy out. Got some nice runes out of that. Let's just go ahead and buff you up again while we're standing around ogling everything. So Shining Rune of Necromancy, Ghost Flame Cannon, Wave of Corruption, Rancor Storm, and Soul Steel. Well, let's take a look at those. Starting down here, so 28 and 28, I'm gonna lose something from my flask. I'll be down to 31, so I won't be able to use Soul Steel, but I should be able to use the other three. So what do we got? Ghost Flame Cannon, launch a projectile in an arc towards enemies, causing an explosion of ghost flame that burns the surrounding area, deals holy damage, and builds frostbite. Charging increases potency. In the time when there was no Erd Tree, death was burned in ghost flame. Deathbirds were the keepers of the fire. Death Ritual Spear, used by priests of old who were permitted to come among the Deathbirds. The priests became guardians of the birds through the rite of death, which also serves as an oath sworn to their distant resurrection. Spear Call Ritual. Thrust the spear high, bearing prayers into the sky to summon down a downpour of spectral spears. Okay. Definitely, let's see. Let's put that on and try it out. Where did this spear go? I got too much stuff. Alright, it's gonna be back up here somewhere. Death Ritual Spear, let's put that on. Okay. So it's kind of like a directional, like whatever direction I'm looking in. I wonder if it locks on. Could be cool. Let's go back to the spells. Wave of Corruption. Slam your staff into the ground, causing an explosion of Deathblight to slowly spread out on the ground in front of you. A sorcery made in tribute to the Prince of Death and his insidious legacy. Slam his staff into the ground, causing an explosion of Deathblight to slowly spread out on the ground in front of you, causing holy damage and building Deathblight to any enemy it touches. After Godwin's murder and the spread of his corruption, many sorcerers in doubt of the Erd Tree and the Golden Order's divine right were justified. Powers beyond the greater will existed. Sorceries of this nature became seen as cathartic revelries and were adopted by the first necromancers. Alright, so next up, Sorcery of the Servants of Death. Rancor Storm summons a legion of vengeful spirits that chase down foes, dealing holy damage and building frostbite. Charging poses enhances potency. They are but cinders of the ancient death hex, break from the fires of ghost flame by death birds. And then, like I said, the last one, Sorcery of the Servants of Death, Soul Steal. Violently rip an enemy's soul from their body as a projectile that moves towards the caster. The enemy instantly becomes stunned. When the soul is absorbed, the caster becomes drained of all stamina for a few seconds and loses all remaining FP. If the caster is affected by the Phoenix of Death sorcery, this spell will replenish the Death Ward effect of that spell if the Death Ward is not currently active. So Death Ward, I believe, is one of our final spells, and we use it to, like we would die, then we would use this Soul Steal in order to regain the death rate. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. I will think about what we want to accomplish in the next episode, which one of the tier 2 second keystone of the Forge bosses we will end up going after. So stay tuned for the next one.